Hello students, welcome to your third chapter, Fiber to Fabric. In the previous introduction video, we have seen how fibers are available both naturally as well as artificially. Among the natural fibers that are available, cotton, wool and silk are the most common ones. So in this chapter, we will be dealing with wool only. Children, we shall now see about wool. Wool comes from sheep, goat, yak and other animals. These wool-yielding animals bear hair on their body. So as we all know children, we get wool from animals like sheep, goat and yak. These wool-yielding animals, they have hair on their body. And do we know why do they have hair on their body? Or the reason why do they have hair on their body? There is a reason for that. Most of these animals, they have hair on their body and that hair on their body is known as fleece. And it is from this fleece that we get wool. Now, this hair, it prevents the heat from going outside. This hair, it traps the air and it prevents the heat from going outside the body. And that is the reason why this hair keeps the body of the sheep very warm. And that is the reason why in winter season, we people wear clothes made out of wool. So that wool helps us to keep our body warm. Just as in winter season, wool helps us to keep our body warm. Similarly, the hair from which we get wool that is there on the body of sheep, yak, goat and other wool-yielding animals. It keeps the body of these animals warm. And that is the reason why these animals, they have hair on their body. And it is from this hair that we get wool. And it is from this wool that we make woolen clothes like sweaters, shawls and other things. We shall now see about your first activity. Feel the hair on your body and arms and those on your head. Do you feel any difference? Which one seems coarse and which one is soft? Coarse means hard. So you people have hair on your head as well as on your arms and legs also. Now when you touch the hair that is there on your arms and legs as well as on the hair on your head, we find a difference. So which one is soft and which one is rough? Coarse means rough. Of course we all know the answer. The hair that is there on our head is soft compared to the hair that is there on our body like on our legs or on our arms. Just like we people have soft hair on our head and rough or coarse hair on our body, similarly, the sheep also has two types of fibers that form its fleece. And this is the fleece. The fleece is nothing but the hair of the sheep along with the skin. That part is called as fleece. Similarly, the hairy skin of the sheep consists of two types. One is coarse beard hair, that is rough kind of hair, and the next one is fine underhairs. This soft fine underhairs is found very near the skin of the sheep, and it is from this fine underhairs that we get our wool from. So the hair of the sheep consists of two types. One is coarse beard hair or rough type of hair, and the next one is soft kind of hair. And this soft kind of hair is found very near to the skin of the sheep. And it is this fine underhair from which we get wool from. So, this is about the two types of hair of the sheep. The fine hair provides the fiber for making wool. Some breeds of sheep possess only fine underhair. Their parents are specially chosen to give birth to sheep which have only soft underhair. This process of selecting parents for obtaining special characters in their offspring, such as soft underhair in sheep, is termed selective breeding. We shall say this. There are a few sheep which have only fine under hairs. So what do people do is, they select only such kind of sheep and allow them to breed, so that when their offspring is born or when a new baby is born, that skin also will be fine under hair skin, because we know a child gets the traits or the qualities from its parents. So what do farmers do is, farmers allow sheep with fine under hairs to breed, so that its offspring or its next child also or lamb will also have fine under hairs. And this process of selecting parents to have a good offspring is called as selective breeding. So what is selective breeding? Selective breeding is nothing but selecting good parents which are having fine hairs, so that its child, the child of both the parents, will also have fine under hairs. This process is called as selective breeding. Several breeds of sheep are found in different parts of our country. However, the fleece of sheep is not the only source of wool, though wool commonly available in the market is sheep wool. So, we know that there are different varieties of sheep that are found in different parts of the country. Most of us think that the wool that we use is only from sheep. That is not true. We get wool from different other animals also. But the most commonly available wool in the market is that of the sheep. We shall now see a few of the animals whose fleece from which we get wool. The first one is yak. Yak is an animal that is found in Ladakh, and it is even found in Tibet also. The wool that we get from the yak is known as yak wool. The other animal from which we get wool is the Angora goat. The Angora goats are found in the hilly regions of Jammu and Kashmir. In the hilly regions of Jammu and Kashmir, we come across these Angora goats. And the wool that we get from the Angora goats is called as Angora wool. Then, these sheep that you see, or this goat that you see is known as the Kashmiri goat. The skin of the Kashmiri goat is very soft, and from this skin they make very famous shawls called as Pashmina shawls. The Pashmina shawls are very famous. Not only famous, they are even very expensive and costly also. Apart from that, the fur on the body of camels is also used as wool. Even llama and alpaca that is found in South America also yield wool. So, apart from sheep, the other animals from which we get wool are the yak, the Angora goat, the Kashmiri goat, the llama, the alpaca, and even the camels. These are the animals from which we get wool. For obtaining wool, sheep are reared. Reared means to bring them up until they are fully grown is called as rearing. Their hair is cut and processed into wool. So what do you mean by rearing? The sheep are raised either for wool, for meat, for milk, for skin, or for manure. For different reasons they are reared or they are raised up. So this is known as sheep rearing or sheep farming. So we shall now learn about this entire process of sheep rearing or sheep farming. If you travel to the hills in Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal, Arunachal Pradesh and Sikkim, or the plains of Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan and Gujarat, you can see shepherds taking their herds of sheep for grazing. So if we people get to go to the hilly regions The hilly regions in places like Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, we get to see that shepherds take their herds. Herds means a group of sheep is called as a herd of sheep. So we can see herds of sheep being taken for grazing. Similarly, we can even get to see this sight in the plain regions of Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan and Gujarat. So in these parts, be it either the hilly regions or be it the plain areas, here we get to find shepherds taking their herds of sheep for grazing. Sheep are herbivores and prefer grass and leaves. So, sheep are herbivores. Herbivores are plant-eating animals. So, since they are herbivores, sheep, they prefer to eat grass and leaves. Apart from grazing sheep, rearers also feed them on a mixture of pulses, corn, jawar, oil cakes and minerals. So, rearers are the shepherds who rear the sheep. So, apart from grass and leaves, they also give them a mixture of pulses, corn, jawar, oil cake. So oil cake is nothing but the material left after taking out the oil from the seeds. So you know there are sunflower seeds. So after the oil is taken from the sunflower seeds, so the remaining part that remains, out of that they make a cake like substance and that is given to the cattle for feeding and that is known as oil cake. So the shepherds, they give, apart from leaves and grasses, they give pulses, jawar, oil cakes and even minerals to the sheep. In winter, sheep are kept indoors and fed on leaves, grain and dry fodder. During summer season, the sheep are taken for grazing in the grasslands. But however, during winter season, the sheep are kept indoor, means they are kept in closed doors and they are given leaves, grains and dry fodder. Dry fodder in Kannada we call it as mevu. So they are given it for the sheep for their nutrition or for them for eating. Sheep are reared in many parts of our country for wool. In this table below, there are some of the names of some of the breeds of sheep that are reared in our country for producing wool. We shall see them. The first one is called as Lohi. This is found in the state of Rajasthan and Punjab. So this is the Lohi breed of sheep. The next one is Rampur Bushire. The Rampur Bushire is found in the states of Uttar Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh and it is known for its brown color fleece. The next one is Nali. Nali is found in the states of Rajasthan, Haryana and Punjab. The wool of this Nali breed of sheep is used for making carpets. The next one is Bhakarwal. This Bakarwal is found in the state of Jammu and Kashmir and the wool of this sheep is mainly used for making woolen shawls. Since the hair of this kind of sheep is very soft, it is used for making shawls. The next kind of sheep that we find in Gujarat is called as the Marwari sheep and this is the Marwari sheep. It has got coarse wool or very rough kind of wool. And the last one is the Patanwadi sheep. The Patanwadi sheep is also found in the state of Gujarat. So this is the Patanwadi sheep. And the wool from this sheep is used for making hosiery materials. The materials that we usually wear during winter. For thermal wear it is used. So Lohi, Rampur Bushire, Nali, Bakarwal, Marwari and Patanwadi. These are the 6 different kinds of breeds of sheep that are reared in our country for producing wool. We shall now see about the advantages of sheep rearing.
animal and can live in much more severe environment. Therefore, they need little care and management. In addition, they need little space for living. So, many sheep can be kept in small area. They provide various products which provide very good income within short time. They help farmers by eating unwanted plants in the farm. Here are some of the
Here are some of the conditions or facilities that are required for sheep rearing.
water, availability of green foods such as grass, provision of medication facility as well as transportation and marketing facilities. So, sheep rearing is done in the areas where these facilities are available.
The quality and texture of fibers obtained from them is also different. Certain breeds of sheep have thick coat of hair on their body, which yields good quality wool in large quantities. As mentioned earlier, these sheep are selectively bred, with one parent being a sheep of good breed. Once the reared sheep have developed a thick growth of hair, hair is shaved off for getting wool. So different sheep have got different types of hair, and the quality and texture of the fibers obtained from them also is different. So usually they do selective breeding for getting good quality wool. Selective breeding means I already told you earlier when we began this chapter, we discussed about what is selective breeding. Selective breeding means they take a few pair of sheep that are having good quality wool and coarse or coarse wool. So whichever wool they want, they take those kind of sheep and then they allow them to breed, and the offspring that they get also will be having good quality wool or else coarse wool. So if they take sheep which is having good quality wool, then they will get a offspring which will get good quality wool. If they take a sheep which has got coarse wool, then the child sheep also will have coarse wool. So depending upon the need of the rearer or the one who breeds the sheep, they decide and then they select the parents, that is they select the parent sheep so that they will get the offspring sheep also of the same kind and of the same nature, and this is known as selective breeding. And once the reared sheep develops thick growth of hair, the hair is shaved off for getting wool. The wool which is used for knitting sweaters or for weaving shawls is the finished product of a long process which involves the following steps. So the wool that we use for making sweaters is the finished product of a very lengthy and a very long process. We shall now see in detail the different steps that are involved in making the wool. Then we shall now see the first step. The first step is called as shearing. The fleece of the sheep along with a thin layer of skin is removed from its body. This process is called as shearing. Machines similar to those used by barbers are used to shave off hair. So, the fleece of the sheep is removed, and the process of removing of this fleece from the sheep is known as shearing. And the shepherds, the farmers or the sheep rearers, they use a machine similar to what is used by a barber to remove off the wool from the skin of the sheep, and this entire process is called as shearing. Usually hair is removed during the hot weather. This enables sheep to survive without their protective coat of hair. The hair provides woolen fiber. Woolen fibers are then processed to obtain woolen yarn. So usually this shearing process is done during hot summer season because even if the skin is removed, the sheep has to survive. So if it is done in winter season, the cold weather will be very difficult for the sheep to survive in, and that is the reason why the hair is generally removed in hot weather. So without hair also the sheep can comfortably stay. The hair provides the woolen fiber, and it is from this thin hair that the woolen fiber is made, and woolen fibers are later on processed to obtain yarn, the process of which we'll learn in the next further steps. A thing to be noted, many of you may think that if we find the shearing done, the sheep may get hurt, but it is not so. We also regularly go for our haircuts, or you might have seen your father's shave his beard. It doesn't cause us much pain. Have you ever wondered why? There is a reason. Hair does not have nerves nor blood in it. It is a dead cell, and that is the reason, though we cut our hair regularly, or you might have seen your fathers or your elder brothers shaving their beard, it doesn't cause much pain for them. The same thing is applicable when shearing is done to the sheep. The sheared skin with hair is thoroughly washed in tanks to remove grease, dust and dirt. This is called scoring. Nowadays, scoring is done by machines. So, the sheared skin, the skin that is removed from the sheep, contains lot of grease, dust and dirt. So, it is thoroughly washed in tanks. Earlier, scoring was done through hand. If it is a small thing, it is done through hand. But nowadays, it is done in big industries or in factories, and it is washed in huge tanks. And this process by which the dust, grease and dirt is removed from the sheared skin is called as scouring. And scouring is done in huge machines in factories and in industries. After scouring, sorting is done. The hairy skin is sent to a factory where hair of different textures are separated or sorted. So after scouring means removing of dirt, dust and grease. Sorting is done. The hairy skin is sent to a factory, and from the factory different wool is sorted depending upon the different texture or different kind of hair structure. The wool is separated or sorted out. Now we shall see the fourth step. The small fluffy fibers called burrs are picked out from the hair. These are the same burrs which sometimes appear on your sweaters. So you might have seen sometimes on our sweaters we get a small hair-like thing coming out. They are called as the burrs of wool. So sometimes these wools, they do have burrs on them. So what is done is the wool is once again scoured. Means once again it is washed nicely and it is dried. And this is the wool ready to be drawn into fiber. And from then again, once again they wash it so that it should not have burrs like structures on them. And after once again cleanly washing it, the wool is now ready to be drawn into fibers. The fibers can be dyed in various colors, as the natural fleece of sheep and goat is black, brown or white. Usually the fiber that we get from the sheep and goats is usually black, brown or white in color. So what do? They take those wool and they dye it. Dye it means coloring it is known as dyeing. So the process of coloring is done, and thus we get different kinds of wool. Now we shall see the last step, that is the sixth step. The fibers are straightened, combed and rolled into yarn. The longer fibers are made into wool for sweaters, and the shorter fibers are spun and woven into woolen clothes. So we can see that the fibers or the thin line structures of wool are woven into yarn, and the long fibers are used for making sweaters, and the shorter fibers are spun and are woven into woolen clothes. The process of fiber into wool can be represented as follows: shearing, scouring, sorting, cleaning of burrs, rolling and dyeing. We shall now see this entire process through a small video so that it can help us to understand this process in a much easier and better way.
Fibers obtained from sheep directly for making sweaters, shawls, and many other things. Instead, these are processed in stepwise manner. Here, in this lesson, we will learn how fibers are processed into wool. The first step is shearing. The layer of hairs around the sheep body is called fleece. Shearing is the process of removing fleece and the thin layer of skin from the sheep body. For this process, tools similar to those used by barbers are used. The outer skin of animal body is dead, so shearing does not harm the sheep. However, this process must be done during hot weather. The reason is simple. If shearing is done in winter, then the cold climate could harm the sheep since the protective layer is not present. However, in hot weather, they can remain safe even if there is no protective layer. After shearing, the skin rebuilds in some days and the hair starts growing again. Shearing provides fibers. After shearing, the next step is scouring. The hairs, that is fibers, obtained from shearing contains dirt such as grease and dust. It must be removed before further processing. Thus, the sheared skin along with hairs is washed thoroughly to remove dirt. It is called scouring. It is done by hand or by machines. It is then dried and sent to factory. Scouring provides clean fibers. After scouring, the next step is sorting. In this step, the clean fibers are taken to factory where they are separated according to the texture such as length and color. The fine hairs are used to make cloths while coarse hairs are used to make rugs. There are small fluffy fibers called burrs present in the fleece. These are removed and used as burrs on sweaters. The next step in processing wool is dyeing. The fibers are dyed, that is, colored according to need. Since fibers are white, brown or black naturally, therefore, other colors are used for dyeing. After dyeing, fibers are straightened, combed and rolled into yarn. This is how a woolen yarn is obtained. There are two types of fibers, longer fiber and shorter fiber. Longer fibers are used for making sweaters, while shorter fibers are used for making woolen clothes. So, I hope you have understood how fibers are converted into wool. For more such videos,
Wool industry is an important means of livelihood for many people in our country. But sorters' job is risky as sometimes they get infected by a bacterium called as anthrax, which causes a fatal or deadly blood disease called as sorters' diseases. Such risks faced by workers in any industry are called as occupational hazards. So far we have seen how wool industry is an important means of livelihood for many people. But when they are sorting the wool, they face a number of occupational hazards. For example, they may get infected by a bacteria that is present on the skin of the sheep called as anthrax. And this anthrax may cause a deadly disease known as sorters disease. So this disease affects people, those who sort wool in the wool industry, and risks faced by workers in any industry are called as occupational hazards. So children, so far we have discussed about how we get the final fabric of wool from the wool fiber. We have seen the entire process of fiber to fabric in wool in this video. In your next video, we shall discuss about silk. Till then, have a nice day.